Hey everybody, and welcome to the Midnight Special. Yes, I'm back after a very long hiatus, but I've been out shopping, I've picked up some vinyl, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I have bought. So with all that being said, let's roll that video and see what I spent my pennies on. Okay, so you could see the type of stuff that was out there. Pretty good selection. Prices were fine. They were all between like £5 and £15. Pretty happy with what I picked up. So the first thing I got was a bit of Elvis Presley. Yeah, so this is a soundtrack. It is from a period of Elvis's career that I'm not a massive fan of, the 60s. I always find the 60s to be very creamy and there's no edge to the 60s Elvis for me. I love 50s Elvis, definitely love 70s Elvis, but 60s Elvis not so much. £4 for an Elvis soundtrack. On here you've got that cover of Blueberry Hill, True Love, Don't Leave Me Now, Mean Woman Blues, but is in really good condition. So yeah, I'm an Elvis collector. I'm a big fan of Elvis, like I just said, 50s and 70s, but I will add the movie soundtracks into the collection if they're at a good price and if they're in good condition. And there's Elvis stuff everywhere. So yeah, it's not that hard to collect for Elvis. But I'm glad I got it. It's not something I'm going to be playing a lot. And as a collector, you probably could sort of identify you'll buy stuff that will go on the shelf for quite a long period of time. This one will probably be one of those albums. I'm probably not going to play it that often, if ever, to be honest. It's just going to be part of the discography, the collection I've got going of Elvis. But I'm happy to have it, and I know it's there. So if I ever do want to play it, I've got it. £4 Elvis Presley, Loving You. There we go. So next up is a picture disc. I'm not a massive picture disc collector, but I picked this up because I'm planning on putting them in frames on the wall. And it is ZZ Top from 1994. It says £8, I got it for £7. And like I said, I am planning on framing quite a few picture discs of bands or artists that I like and putting them in my music room, which is not here. The next videos that will be coming up will be from the music room. It's going through a makeover at the moment. But yeah, Breakaway, really underrated song in my opinion. I never hear it getting played. 1994, very bluesy, very smoky, and it's like you're always waiting for it to kick in, but it never does. But you're not disappointed because it is a cracking track. And like I say, I never heard it being played. But Breakaway from 1994, ZZ Top, on picture disc, I thought it was pretty cool. Like I say, it's not going to be a playable disc for me, it's going to be more of wall art, but I think that's a pretty cool image. Definitely for the music room, you know, it's going to stand out quite a bit. So there we go, Breakaway from 1994, £6 or £7 I paid for this. Quite happy with that. Next up is an artist I have been familiar with all my life, I think. Grew up with my nan and granddad and my mum, so I was sort of, I had 50s and 60s music being played alongside 70s and 80s. So on a morning I would have like Jerry Lee Lewis and the Everly Brothers. In the afternoon I'd have like T-Rex, David Bowie. So this one is Folsom City Blues. Now my granddad was a massive rock and roll fan, but sprinkled in with that rock and roll you would have folk and you would have country, and Johnny Cash was definitely being played, and something that I was introduced to from a very early age. But I've never owned this album, and it was £1. So Folsom City Blues, Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash, Volume 1, I think 1969. Really good condition. It was £1, and it's one of those albums I can play in the background. I don't need to give 100% of my time to. I know it that good. I could just hum along, sing along to it while I'm pottering about the house. Very nostalgic feel for me. Very comforting to hear Johnny Cash's voice. So yeah, very happy to add this to the collection. Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. Yeah. Okay, so this next track, I have nothing in my collection on CD, on vinyl, on cassette, anything. But I stream him a lot, and he always makes me happy, always makes me smile. And it is Bob Marley and the Wailers, and this is a Rastaman Vibration. Gatefold with lyrics, as you can see. Really good nick. This was £5. I'm just happy to have some Bob Marley in the collection. I don't have any at all, and I don't listen to a huge amount of reggae other than sort of Bob Marley and maybe some of that 90s sort of pop reggae. But yeah, it's for £5. I can't really say no, and I can't give you a lot of information on this album. You know, honestly, I could go on Google or Wikipedia and just read off stuff, but that's not what my channel's about. I'm just going to tell you why I bought it and, you know, what I know at this moment in time. And that is, I don't know a lot about this album. I don't know a lot about Bob Marley other than the greatest hits. So that is why I picked it up. I want to sort of delve more into Bob Marley's back catalogue. Bob Marley and the Wailers, let's not forget that. And yeah, maybe enjoy it. I might do, I might not, who knows. But yeah, I'm happy to pick it up for £5. I'm happy to have it in the collection. And yeah, it's in pretty good nick, to be honest. I don't know when this was released. I'm pretty sure it's 70s, early 70s maybe. But for £5, why not? The next one was £4, and it is from an artist, a band that I grew up with in the 80s. Never bought for, never owned any albums, but was always playing on the radio. My mum always had it on, and it is one of those sort of easy listening type, sort of, what could you say, very smooth artists. You know, it's Brian Ferry and Roxy Music, the best of. You know, Gatefold. Like I say, I don't own anything from Brian Ferry or Roxy Music, but you got the classics on here like Avalon, Jealous Guy cover, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, Virginia Plain. So yeah, it is what it is. £4, you know, Brian Ferry. Do I need to explain why I bought it? It is, you know, will I play it? Probably, but I'm backing up and washing up. Put a bit of Brian Ferry on if I'm in that sort of yuppie 80s mood. But yeah, it's in the collection now, and I'm happy to have it. The next one is very, very, very different. Yeah, this was £5. I mean, he put it in here. It is, oh god, he put tape on it as well. Okay. So, it's a 7-inch single, framed. It was £5, and it is Paul Weller's, was it 1996, 97, something like that? Paul Weller's Wishing on a Star cover, 7-inch single, framed. This single goes for like £15–20 on its own. So I bought it. I couldn't leave it there, you know, even just for the frame itself, you know. But yeah, I'll hang that in the music room. Paul Weller is an artist that is very hit and miss for me. I absolutely love some of his stuff and I can't stand the rest, you know. His new album 66 I was going to buy. I streamed it. That first track on the album I loved. but then it sort of went into very sort of overcomplicated noise for me. Lyrically brilliant, but again with Paul Weller, I just prefer him and a guitar. I don't need everything else layered on top. Wishing on a Star was an okay cover. I love the original, but for £5, come on, not a bad pickup really, was it? So yeah, I couldn't leave it there. So Wishing on a Star, Paul Weller, 7-inch framed, £5. Yeah. So the next three is from an artist that I'm a huge fan of. I collect everything, and it's costing me a fortune because he's putting stuff out what seems like every week. But I got 2 live albums from Mr. Neil Young. So I got the Citizen Kane Jr. Blues, and I got, where was this one from? It's 1971 at the Pavilion. Do you need to collect these if you're not a massive Neil Young fan? No, just get one. I would say get the 68 live album. But for someone who collects, you know, trying to collect Neil Young's discography is a massive undertaking because there's so much. But what's great is he is releasing them, you know. But these were cheap. They're like £11 new on Amazon. Solo sets. What have we got on here? Old Man, Heart of Gold, Ohio, Dance Dance Dance. There's not a massive, you know, you got Green Sleeves, On the Beach. So yeah, £11 this on Amazon, and I think this was 13 or 14. But 2 Neil Young live albums. These will definitely be played. You know, I do love listening to Neil Young, especially his live stuff, and definitely his stuff with Crazy Horse. I'm a big fan. But yeah, two more Neil Young pickups to add to the collection. No doubt there will be another 40 in the next 3 months. You know, okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but he does put out a lot. And I'm glad he does. My wife, not so much, because I am spending a lot of money on Neil Young. Carrying on with that Neil Young train, we've got a book. I picked up a book. This is Album by Album by Neil Young. And I bought this more for a reference, really. Not so much for his opinions on the tracks, but more of a reference for me. Like I say, I'm a Neil Young collector. I'd like to see what's in here, if there's anything I've missed, is there anything I don't know about. And also just learning about some of the backstory of some of the albums. It's a very interesting read. It does have, you know, some images in the book of Neil Young, Buffalo Springfield days, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, you know, Crazy Horse, all that sort of stuff. It was $9.99, so yeah, I picked that up. And the last one was the most expensive purchase, and it was Neil Young's soundtrack to Journey Through the Past. It is a 2-LP album in amazing condition. I can't get my words out. Fantastic condition. It was £30. And as you can see here, 1972 original UK press, superb condition, double album, £30. I could have got this a little bit cheaper, you know, £20, £25, but I give him £30. I give him £30 because I don't really like asking for discounts, but he does offer it sometimes. But I'm happy to pay £30 for this, and it is, like I said, a double album, which has got all the gumph in it. I'm not going to get it all out now because it's like a jigsaw puzzle. But yeah, happy to own it. And like I say, I am a massive Neil Young collector, so this is in the collection. So that's what I picked up. And where's this channel going from today? Well, I'm going to be doing some reviews, some brand new album reviews that are coming out. I may do some live streams. I may try and get on a few live streams in the VC, who knows. But what you need to know about me is I am not an audiophile, really. I'm not about, you know, getting the best pressings of albums. I'm more about the music in a way that I just want to hear it. And if I get a really good pressing and it sounds great, fantastic. If I get a pressing that's got a bit of crackle and pop on it, I'm not that fussed. It sounds a bit weird coming from a collector, but I'm not. If it's at the right price, I'm happy to pick it up. A lot of my vinyl will be sort of sub £10, you know, so there is going to be some age to it. There's going to be some sounds that wasn't originally supposed to be on there. But there's still a story to be told on those vinyls, you know. maybe one track has got a scratch on it but the rest hasn't, I would still pick it up just to hear the rest of that album, and I could swap it out in the future. It all depends on what it is. But yeah, I'm not a massive audiophile, so don't be expecting to come on here for me to be talking about sound quality of vinyl. It's not really what I'm about. I'm more about just collecting for myself, so you may not see a lot of bands that are incredibly popular. You know, I have got my own taste and my collection represents that. So yeah, I'm not really going to be following trends. I will just be showing you what I buy, what I enjoy, and why I bought it. And a lot of the stuff is due to nostalgia and evoking memories. And if you're happy to listen and watch that sort of stuff, then please subscribe. Please hit the like button. And no doubt you'll be getting another video this week, because I've got a delivery coming tomorrow. So that'll be pretty cool. So thanks for watching if you're still here, and I will see you very, very soon.